We've made a lot of money trading meme coins on this channel. And over that time, taking advantage of opportunities has allowed us to make the most money. I made a tweet a while ago. I said to get rich, you only need to take one well-played trade. Most people who bought Trump outperformed all the day traders, i.e. me and plenty of other people who took the risk, made all the money. Then you had the same thing with Griffin and the AI meta. If you took the risk during the AI wave, you would have made way more money than just trying to scalp new peers. And I do believe that a new meta is performing. I want to introduce you about Candle TV. Now, if you're aware of Candle TV, there was a whole lot of drama around this launch. And I'm going to take you through it step by step. I'm also going to show you how we're making money right now with this opportunity and a little bit more about the platform so you can go ahead and you can join that community, because I do think that this is an emerging meta in the space. Even with all the trials and tribulations, this only brings opportunity. As you can see, at all-time high, this thing was already a $32 million market cap in day one. And without a doubt, it's probably going to return there very soon with how stable that the chart is looking right now. So first things first, what is Candle TV? Candle TV is a streaming platform. It allows people to stream their meme coins. So if you launch a new project, you can stream the project that you launch, but the key is developers will have to apply for this platform. It won't be open for anybody. So you're only going to have the upper echelon of projects launching on here with the upper echelon of influencers. You're going to be able to see some of the biggest streamers on the internet right now. People like Ran, Crypto Banter, right, who has millions and millions of followers, right? You have people like myself, you have Maritz Neo, Ryan Babel, and Orangey himself as well. So you have some of the biggest streamers that are going to be streaming on this platform mixed with some of the most upper echelon of meme coin projects. And if you was around yesterday at the time of recording this video, you will see that the market is pretty sweet right now. You see that some of the biggest projects right now are launching across the whole entire chain. If you missed out on Candle TV, right, you'll be able to find it on either Jupiter Pro, right, or Bullex as well. You'll find a link for Bullex inside of the description. The team behind Candle TV is the same members of Meteora, okay, which is one of the key things of how we're managing to make money, and is also the same team behind Jupiter as well, okay, and also Moonshot. You have a mixture of some of the most biggest names in this space behind one single project. Now, what happened, right? Let's get into the drama, right? Because everybody loves a little bit of drama, especially in the crypto space. So you can see that the launch of this project was very hyped, right? And if we look at Bullex and look at some of the wallets I'm tracking, I'm sure you guys that are inside the trenches as well, if you look at your wallet trackers on day one, okay, this thing was going absolutely ballistic. We had, you know, people like Orangey in here. We have people like Natch in here as well. Okay, and also like some of the major whales that I spot. And these guys absolutely cooked on this thing on day one. Now, the reason why it says zero for some of these ones here is because if you was on certain platforms, right, that had partnerships with Meteora, you was able to see this thing simply on your scan. Like if you were just looking on Neo Vision, for example, you'd be able to see this specific project. You would have also seen it on your wallet trackers as well, simply because you've seen so many people buying in. Similar to the launch of Trump. When Trump went live, people knew that it was coming out. They jumped in and they bought it. If they didn't know that it was coming out, that would be the second wave of people who just seen it on the wallet tracker, people like us, who just jumped in there and just took a leap of faith, right? And as you can see, a lot of people who jumped in there on this first wave made money. Now, there's also another wallet on this launch that absolutely cooked on this thing, right? And I'm sure many people, to be honest, who brought this wants to be like this person over here who managed to pull out $2 million on day one, right? And the reason for this is because of the snipe. They were sniped on day one by a world-renowned sniper. In fact, Maritz Neo actually found that these people are already gloating about the fact that they managed to hit the snipe. So it says, another big hit here by Nassim and XY, a few members of Grand FNF. Someone sent me the invite for this. A wallet connected to YX snapped 400K, which is about 3 billion tokens of Candle TV, okay, and in the Meteora AG pool. Right, there is a lot of questions to be said about Meteora, and I also do have a lot of questions that need to be answered. But as you can see, it resulted in a $2 million gain, right, on day one, and you can see they had the proof here as well. And this was actually something that was planned. You can see in Twitter, somebody called JS Snipe also was planning on this thing, and he said that I reckon that the same thing is going to happen for Candle TV, okay, because there was a lot of fake rugs on Meteora. So what I think is happening with this is when you see a lot of fake launches on Pump Fund, for example, and you normally see it on Bullex, that gives us the inkling, I think it's inkling or incline, however you say it, but gives us the feeling that there's a big launch coming. The same thing is happening on Meteora, okay, but there's a big skill gap on Meteora by the fact that if you see a lot of new pools being created, you know that this token is going to be hyped, so then you know to look to snipe that token. Now, my question is that if we go onto Meteora's YouTube channel on this specific bonding curve, I think it's called like a dynamic bonding curve. So Soju, shout out to Soju, by the way, he's a very, very hard-working dev. He actually mentioned that this new SDK, which is going to be partnered with these different platforms, which is the reason why I think that that's how ONG and these guys managed to get in really early, because I was waiting on the Candle platform as well, as many people in the community were, but they managed to get in on like whatever platforms they managed to get in. And it says that it's super customizable. There's a dynamic fee system, which this fee schedule is anti-sniper, and that allows you to collect fees. This is important because this is something where we can still take advantage of. And then it has compatibility for token 222, and it's powered by Meteor. Okay, so any platform, this isn't Candle TV's responsibility, it's more of a Meteor responsibility using that SDK for the fact that they should not be getting sniped, okay? As you can see, that was the reason why I got sniped. That resulted in a big price drop, but many people like me and many people inside of the trenches took advantage of this opportunity. You can see I literally bought the Pico bottom, okay, and I'm now beginning to DCA this token. Because, right, if we look on, you know, let's say CryptoRank, right, we look at a lot of the launchpad platforms, because whenever you're looking at a token, you have to compare it to other launchpads, right? So if we go on to, let's say, iSeries IDOs, right, and then we go down to launchpads over here, we'll see that there's a lot of platforms. Now, if you've been around for a while, you will know these platforms, and you will know that these platforms were the shit for a long, long time, right? Things like CDFI, right? If you look at CDFI and you look at the CDFI token, right, if we can find it, it's probably on CoinMarketCap, you'll see that CDFI itself, right, it's valued at 32 million at the current market cap, being at in the Pico altcoin bear market, right? And at all-time high, it was valued at 300 million. Paid network, right? The same thing, even with like more tighter tokenomics, okay, was valued at the same thing, 300 million at all-time high, okay, and an average market cap of around about 11 million all the way up to 94 million, going through the different cycles, last cycle and this cycle, okay? And the list goes on. You know, if you look at any launchpad across the whole entire crypto rank, you'll see that launchpads on average at the top height are valued at 300 million, okay? Median height is about 20 million, okay? So if we look at Candle TV right now, I consider Candle TV highly undervalued as a token, right? I think that the average market cap deserves to be about 20 million, which is funny enough that it was the exact high, okay? And if it gets hyped, it could go as high as 300 million. People say, oh, you're crazy, but there isn't a lot of catalyst that has already happened for this specific token yet, okay? So that is the reason why I'm DCM. Now, if you are also inside of the trenches, the link for that is in the description, okay? You would have seen that throughout this motion, okay, I've been leaving my exact strategy on what I am doing to take advantage of this. And during the launch, okay, I didn't panic, okay, I didn't like go absolutely crazy. I was stressed for sure, I'm only human. But one of the things I said was that I'm going to continue to play the LP game while it has volume, okay? It's not the best result, honestly. Only 200 views on the stream, okay? And 1.5K holders, but a 70 mil market cap at all-time high. Game is game. We'll see how things go. I'm buying this, okay, because it's going to get attention, right? And as you can see, by playing the LP game, if we look at their pool and we go to Meteora, if you want to learn how to use Meteora pools, link for that's in the description. I've got full tutorials on exactly how to use Meteora pools and how to make money every single day with low risk by using these pools, right? You can see that there has been a total fee of over $198,000 in the past 24 hours by staking inside of this pool. Now, this is a new style by Meteora. This is the dynamic pool. So with this, you will have to provide both sides. You'll have to provide the candle side, and you'll also have to provide the Solana side. And I presume that it changes dynamically, right? Nobody really has a true understanding of this technology yet, as it is very, very new tech. Okay, but there is also another option for people who might be a little bit more experienced. And you can also see that there is a way of making your own pools, right, or your own way of market making. Okay, and these people are also generating huge fees. This guy only has $2,000 in his pool, right? And he's generated 50% ROI, pretty much 44%. Okay, because he managed to capture some volume during the hype. Okay, this guy's definitely from the trenches as well. Okay, you can see another pool over here with 5% fee. Okay, managed to capture $92,000 of volume as well. And these guys actually made almost a 10%. I think it's like a little bit less than 10%. They made about $5,000 as well. And I think this is because they didn't change it. You have to like manage this position because it's decentralized market making. That's what DLMM is. You're market making for the project, but it's decentralized. Okay. Whereas this one over here, these dynamic pools, I think that these just completely change dynamically. So you just put both sides in and then you just let it run, I think, right? Now, what's next for Candle TV? Okay, this is the key question, and this is the question that's on the table. What's next? Nobody really knows, okay? But with this, it leaves plenty of room for opportunity, okay? And it opens up plenty of opportunity for people that are looking to DCA this type of project. I think that even for me personally, okay, those of you guys that follow my channel, you know that I like to have a big stake in the projects that I back. If I want to be a part of something, I have to have a big slice of the pie, okay? And crypto is open. So I'm going to work to DCA into this project because I do think that it's severely undervalued right now. Wherever there is a problem, there is an opportunity. You see, I explained this to my subscribers the other day, right? I said to them like, look, guys, success isn't linear, right? Many people think that success is just straight up, right? When you have a plan, you're like, right, this token's going to launch. I'm going to buy it here. I'm going to sell it here. Everything's going to go to plan. That's what we plan for. Right? If you don't prepare for the best, right? If you're not ready to go on a great run, then what's the point, right? If you're just like a skeptic and you always think for the worst, and that tends to manifest in your life, right? So a lot of people do plan for this. But the truth is that life always throws a spanner in the work, right? You think that life's going to be linear, okay? And then some bullshit happens. It takes you back a few steps. And then you figure out, you learn from the problems, okay? And that takes you a step further. And then what happens is you feel like the champ, right? You think, oh yeah, you know, I figured out, I learned from my mistakes. Life's great. I'm the best. And then what happens is it happens again, okay? And then it happens again, okay? But by the time you get over here, okay, and you've learned from your mistakes, you've solved these problems, okay, you look back and you realize how far you have came, okay? But what happens is a lot of people in life, whenever they get to this point, okay, they quit and they go on a new path and then they don't realize there's the whole same mistakes. And what ends up happening is they end up just going in a wide circle their entire lives because they don't learn from their mistakes and grow from those mistakes and solve the problems, right? There's plenty of books on this and plenty of philosophy on this type of thing. But long story short, whenever you plan for something, there's always going to be a problem. Whenever you go and try and invest into a project, there's always going to be snipers. There's always going to be some dodgy stuff going on, or some gossip inside the teams. There's always going to be like an error or a glitch in terms of the technology. There's always going to be something going on with a launch. These are guarantees as part of the process, right? There's no clue how big these issues are going to be, but that's the guarantee as part of the process. It's just like starting a business. You're trying to get suppliers and then you get done over by a supplier, or your payment processor freezes and anything like this, right? In business, we know that these are things that are going to happen. In crypto, it's the exact same thing. Now, some projects bounce back from this, i.e. Candle. I think that these guys bounce back from this. Some projects don't, right? The ones that don't, you will see the chart fizzle off into existence and you'll look back at it and it'll be 4K market cap, unfortunately. You got wrecked, right? Other times, you will see that it goes nuclear, right? And you're looking back at this as a gen wealth opportunity. Now, I'm not saying to you that you have to go and buy a candle and this is the future of finance and it's something that's going to completely change your life. But I am saying to you, it's worth looking at new avenues in crypto right now and starting to explore larger market cap coins that are more directed toward culture. Because crypto in general, as we've seen right now, is a big divide between scalpers and day traders, which I also scalp and also day trade, right? And long-term holders. The long-term holders you see tend to have more money than the scalpers. It is only the 1% of the 1%, okay, that have actually made more than $10,000 in crypto. And then there's only the 1% of the 1% that have made a lot of money in this game. Some of them are scalpers, like this many. Some of them are snipers, as we've seen, right? But more of them are long-term holders, right? And I do think that finding projects that you can believe in, that you can join the community, has always out-returned scalping and day trading. It's the difference between having a scarcity mindset, trying to keep hold of this money and being like, oh, well, I don't want to risk it, everything goes to zero, an abundance mindset, of being able to create a thesis. My thesis is simple. I think that Candle TV, for now, is undervalued. I think that the space is taking a shift towards culture coins. I think that streaming as a whole is a huge industry, and crypto streaming is basically driving the entire volume for meme coins in general. But it's going down the wrong path. People are tired of crypto streams wrecking everybody. People are tired of having to jump on a stream and get farmed on the viewers. People want to see a different type of streaming. They enjoy streaming, but they want to see a different type. Now, Pump Fund doesn't have a token, right? Pump Fund has a streaming platform, but it doesn't have a token. Kick doesn't have a token, right? All these different streaming platforms, they don't have a token. Candle has a token. So if the platform grows, right, I think that the market cap of this is going to grow. That's my thesis. My thesis is people move away from, or a proportion of people move away from more the toxic side of crypto, right? They want to have one single channel where they can watch streamers who they actually are vetted, right? They're vetted by Jupiter, they're vetted by Meteora. They can watch this channel like Channel 5 if you're in the UK, right? I go to my grandma's all the time. That TV channel's on 24/7, right? If I'm trenching, to be fair, I wouldn't mind having some type of information channel live 24/7, hopefully, right? That channel grows, and I can see this thing at a minimum of 50 all the way to a 300 mil market cap if it grows, right? So having 1% supply for me at this market cap makes sense, right? Being able to DCA that is a brilliant opportunity. And I'm going to be staking my tokens inside of these dynamic pools to generate yield on my money while I am holding it. If you do want to learn how to do this, go underneath this video. It's the top link. You'll be able to join the trenches, okay, where you can learn how to yield farm. You can learn how to buy meme coins. You'll get trading signals on pretty much everything that you want to find. And I'm building out a completely free masterclass as well to teach these things for free as well. So you can join the paid channel or you can join the free channel. And in my opinion, this is the next step for crypto. So let me know in the comments, guys. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a viable thing? Do you think I'm bat crazy, right? Or are we on the right track? Is this space going through a cranial shift? Are we moving away from PvP style meme coins, trying to dump on each other, etc., to more so looking for memes 2.0? If I look on Twitter now, I see it a lot on Twitter. There's a big trend on Twitter called, meme coins 2.0, bringing back the OG memes. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and give it a type. You'll see things like meme 2.0 or meme coin 2.0. Okay, and it's a major trend that is just showing me, and it's giving me more conviction in my beliefs in where this space is moving to. But let me know your guys' thoughts. I appreciate every single one of you. In this video, I've showed you my thoughts behind Candle TV, why I think it's going very far. If you do want to learn more about Candle TV, you'll find a link for that in the description. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.